These are the plaintiffs, Ricardo and Susan. Ricardo says the defendant strung them along for months on a house they were selling. They lost out on rent with all the defendant's delays, and then he backed out of the deal altogether, leaving them high and dry. Well, that's just not right. They're out $1,000, and the defendant's wholly responsible for paying them, but hasn't. That's why they're suing him. This is the defendant, Amir. He says there were issues after the inspection the plaintiffs had to address. They didn't make the necessary repairs. That forced him to move on and find another house. He shouldn't be penalized for the plaintiffs not getting the house up to code in a timely manner, and he owes nothing. He's accused of taking too long.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant strung them along on a house they wanted to buy, and they are now out real money. But the defendant says the plaintiffs were shady during the inspection. It's the case of suing my homies.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ricardo and Susan.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Demir for $1,000 that you say Demir owes you because he bailed on a house, on the sale of a house that you were selling him. Tell me what happened.
Well, what happened is we signed a contract, an agreement to buy said the property. For,
Can I see the contract?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So the purchase price was $90,000.
Correct.
And was there any money in escrow?
Supposed to be $2,000.
And was that money placed in escrow?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
He never pays.
No, I know, but why didn't you make him pay? Like, I don't understand. That's what the contract says.
Yeah, he said he's
Did you
gonna
have
pay.
a lawyer?
No.
So this is, and did you have a realtor?
No, ma'am.
Whose escrow account was it going to be put in? That's what the contract says.
The title company.
Okay, so did the title company, did you think the $2,000 had been paid, or did you know it hadn't and you were letting it slide because you wanted to sell the place?
Well, I saw he's gonna pay at the total amount completely.
Right, but when they do that, they got no skin in the game, do they? There's no $2,000 writing. That's why you want to have the deposit. Otherwise, then it's okay. So now this contract is entered into in September. When was the closing supposed to be?
It's supposed to be 30 days. Actually, it was supposed to be on the 29th, October the 29th.
Okay, and there was no financing contingency, correct? No. Okay, so where were you going to get a $90,000 to buy this?
I was either going to purchase it myself with a partner, or as you can see on the contract, it said and or assign. I was possibly would assign my equitable interest to another party.
Well, somebody has to come up with $90,000 though without financing contingency.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens?
Well, after the times passed, he decided, well, I'm going to get married, so please, you can give me some extension on the
So
time.
you extended the closing,
Right.
and then what happened?
He didn't come out with another excuse, say, oh, I cannot pay now, blah, blah, blah. Give me another extension.
So you gave him another extension, and
Right.
now we're in what month?
November, yeah, November.
Okay, end of November, and
End of
then what
November.
happens?
We had to contact him, say, are you going to pay or not? And say, no, I'm not going to pay.
Right, you see now why you take the $2,000?
I know.
For your troubles? Right.
I know.
Okay, so what happened?
The extension, see what it did. It not only helped me, but it helped him as well because the POS wasn't prepared.
What's a POS?
POS in the state of Ohio is something called a point of sale.
Okay, and
which
what
mean-
does that mean?
Which means that the property has to have certain check marks on almost.
Well, what
There's
it
a-
is
there-
an inspection that
Yes,
has to
yes, ma'am.
happen, that
Yes,
the
ma'am.
government conducts,
Yes,
to
ma'am.
decide if there's anything wrong with it before the buyer buys it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what are
And-
you saying?
And there were a few incompliant things, which he got mostly everything compliant except for the driveway. The
Okay.
driveway was the main issue, and at that point, the driveway wasn't completed, and the guy, he had some issues with his guy fixing the driveway, and he said, well, I'm gonna have to get a whole new guy to fix the driveway. And that was the point where I said, you know what, I'm just gonna move on from this property.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. I've read the point of sale law for Ohio, and there are certain, I guess they're trying to protect the next person
Exactly.
buying from The next person said, I don't know.
Exactly.
To
He
me,
couldn't
you
even
got
sell me the
eyeballs, you know what you're buying, I don't get it. But there are other states, like apparently, there are states that say the sale's not happening until this is fixed, but Ohio's not one of those states. What Ohio allows you to do is deduct the amount, the $1,600, from the purchase price. You're allowed to do it and close anyway, but you chose to walk away, and I'm not sure that was one of your options. And now he's out $160 that he paid to the title company, and he wants you to pay that.
He never asked me to pay it.
Well, he's asking you now, because when he sued you, that's one of the things he's asking you for, and you didn't just get sued 4 seconds ago. You know that you were being sued. One of the other things you're suing for, though, is $840 for loss of rent. When was the last time that place was rented?
I haven't rented myself. No.
So why should I believe that you would have lost rent for 1 month? In other words, you were never going to lose the rent for 1 month because you weren't renting.
Actually, it was for 2 months. He was holding the property.
Okay, but there was nobody who was going to come and rent it for 2 months, right?
Right.
Like you had the place empty, you wanted to get rid of it. You want to get rid of it so badly that you're mad he didn't close.
Right.
You were hoping he'd close. That's how badly you want to get rid of this. And so really, why didn't you close? I mean, you know, we're all here. Nobody's making you close. I just want to know why you really didn't close. You couldn't come up with the money, or what was it?
I had a buyer actually to assign.
So you had somebody to assign it to, and what happened with that buyer?
I had someone to assign it to, but I was unaware that you could, that what you said, that you could
Yeah, all you
still
gotta do
assign
is
and
close
pay
with
it.
it.
I was unaware. I was ignorant to that fact. So me and the
I
buyer.
found it in 2 seconds. I'm not that skilled. All you had, I mean, if you know a point of sale and you know of the, you were looking at the same stuff I was looking at.
So explain this to me. Why are people so contentious and angry when it comes to buying and selling homes?
Because it's greedy. They want more products. They want
Okay,
more for the buck.
and I would buy that it's greed, except there could be greed in anything. Why especially greedy when it comes to homes?
I think people are sentimental, really. They change their minds, and they have an emotional attachment to the home, and sometimes they're resistant to change, basically. They're resistant to change.
What do you say?
I think it's more of a power thing. If you have a more expensive home, you have more power in their mind, so it's more important to them.
That is, you know what? I never thought of that. That is really interesting. I never thought of it that way. I think you're right. I think you're right going inside the courtroom.
Have you sold the place or no?
No, not really. I just want to point it out that I offered him, which I did. I put that money, the $1,600 for the repairs, on hold with the title company myself.
Right, that's how it's done. And then you close anyway,
Exactly.
and then you get a $1,600. That way you can fix what he didn't fix. That's what they say it would cost. You don't get to bail out of the contract. But see, this is why you get a deposit when you sell something.
I know, make a mistake.
I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, because we wouldn't be here then.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
Right.
But now, as far as the rent, if you hadn't rented that place out in forever, I don't think we should pretend that there was rent that you could have had. But do you have the proof of the $160 that you paid?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see that?
This is the two proof, and this is before the day.
So do you still have it on the market now?
Yeah, I got somebody else trying to rent, but it's difficult to.
Oh, to rent it?
Yeah.
You can't sell it?
Well, I got a potential renting.
Are there any other expenses that you incurred besides your court costs as a result of this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to order you to pay the $160. Consider yourself lucky, as well as any court costs that Susan and Ricardo incurred. 'Cause that's what you're supposed to do. Are you the new bride?
Yeah.
Okay. What, did she talk sense into you and say, why are you buying this place? No?
Actually, she did.
Yeah, that's I knew something else was going on. All right, good luck, folks.
It's a nice house.
This is a nice house.
So the plaintiff is going to get the $160 back that he gave to the title company. Demir's just come out of the courtroom. You kind of learned a cool lesson here today. You think?
Slightly.
Slightly?
Slightly.
You could have avoided court altogether, you know.
Yeah, we could have.
All right.
Things happen. I had to learn something.
Are you glad you backed out?
Yes, it was overpriced anyway. The
Okay.
property at
All right.
our agreement.
And she encouraged you to. You told him not to do it, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
did.
You glad he didn't?
Yes.
Okay, well, good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, here come Ricardo and Susan now. So you're close to getting somebody in there, you think, maybe?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yes.
It's a very nice house. Spent a year refurbishing it, so it's beautiful.
It's amazing you didn't have an attorney or anyone legally involved with this. You're doing it all on your own. It's tough.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
difficult, but I've been doing this for quite a while.
Really?
So
Did you learn anything from being here in court?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Definitely. That's not to trust.
Do it yourself.
Exactly. Well, not. It's the fact that you need to collect the money for the escrow.
Oh, that's very important. All right. You did learn a good lesson. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Hope you
Thank
get
you.
rid of it. Okay. Okay. Harvey?
I got to tell you, Doug, these point of sale laws vary wildly from state to state. So you either should check with a lawyer or you go online and check with your own state. But I will say this, bar associations, a lot of them have very low cost consultations where you can call the bar association referral number up, and for a small amount of money, you can get a lot of good advice.